Live from KSAT 12, Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Well, good morning. Thank you for joining us here on GMSA at 9. And we do have some news this morning. Legendary actor and director Robert Redford has died. So his publicist said Redford passed away at his home at Sundance in the mountains of Utah, the place that he loved, surrounded by those he loved. Now, Redford was known for his starring roles in Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kids and All the President's Men.
He also directed award-winning films such as Ordinary People and A River Runs Through It. Robert Redford was 89 years old.
Our thoughts are with his family. I did not realize that he was 89.
Indeed, and what a career. The Natural, too. I'm a baseball fan, of course. So many other accolades.
Yes.
All right, outside of live cam here on this Tuesday morning, and of course we continue looking for any possible signs of rain. I know, Justin, some people obviously got some yesterday.
A little bit, not a lot. And you saw there with that live cam shot, and I think you guys are going to get to this in just a little bit. We'll bring it back up there. You see the traffic all stacked up there along Interstate 10 coming towards 410. That is a major crash that is at Callahan, which again, you guys will touch on here in a little bit, but that's causing some backups if you're heading inbound on I-10. Otherwise, we got mostly clear skies here. 76 degrees at the airport, 76 New Braunfels, 78 Converse, 68 right now in Bernie. Temperatures are starting to warm up. It is going to be warm this afternoon. There's no two ways around it. 92 here in San Antonio, but we'll be sharing the warmth with a large portion of the country. Little Rock, St. Louis, Louisville, Nashville, Jackson, New Orleans, all places that will be in the 90s today. This is well above average, if you were wondering, for September. We just haven't got one of those big cold fronts yet, not only for us, but again, for the rest of the country. Our forecast, 85 noon time, 89 at 2 o'clock, 92 your high temperature, partly cloudy, and there could be a few more very isolated showers off to the east of town today. So what changes in the forecast? We do have some pattern changes to speak about. We'll share those with you coming up in just a couple minutes.
Thank you, Justin. Let's take a look with our TransGuide cameras out there to see how traffic's looking. Yes, this is popping up on the TxDOT website. This is I-10 at Callahan eastbound. There is a crash there, and it looks like a lot of the lanes are blocked right now. So you can kind of see some of the drivers kind of creeping there through one lane there eastbound. But yes, you need to be aware of this. This has happened about 8:30 this morning, and there's still a backup there at I-10 at Callahan Road eastbound. Well, imagine just doing your job when you come across a human skull. So that's what happened to a man as he was cutting the grass just outside his job site.
Yeah, so John Paul Barajas spoke with him and shows us what else he found.
I never thought in a million years that I would find something like that.
Cutting the grass at Harrow Commercial Plumbing turned into a frightening find for Walter Stevens. He says a human skull was along their fence line.
You actually picked up the skull?
Yes.
Not knowing
that it was a skull. I saw what looked like a dried cantaloupe or something, so I picked it up. The bottom part of the jaw stayed down there, and I turned it over. I saw the teeth. I was like, oh my God.
He immediately let his employer, Brad Harrell, know, who then called San Antonio police. They and the medical examiner's office both made their way to the business and were seen removing what looked like human remains.
You don't think you're going to see a human skull ever, really. I mean, I've never seen one. And there was no skin or anything on it. It had been decomposed for a while.
Brad and Walter say they often walk in that area and don't think it could have been there very long.
Either somebody picked it up and dropped it off there, or some type of animal picked it up and dropped it off there, because it wasn't like knee-high grass where, it was cutting the grass and, whoa, hey, there it is.
They explain the skull was found by water bowls that are left out for neighborhood dogs. As for the rest of the remains, Brad says detectives told him they were found along the creek behind his business. He says although it's a sad situation, it does put things into perspective.
Life is short.
a reminder.
Yeah. Live every day to the fullest.
John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
And now to some updates on what's happening at Uvalde CISD. School is still out as the district investigates a ransomware attack. So the FBI is involved and they have the system backup. However, it is hosted through a different cloud, and this as forensic investigators look at what sensitive data was stolen. The school board voted to keep using law firm Thompson and Horton despite concerns about a possible conflict of interest. The newly hired firm previously represented former officer Adrian Gonzalez, charged in connection to the Robb Elementary shooting.
An independent ethics attorney will review any possible conflicts. The board also told its attorney to send a letter to the courts urging for the release of public records in a lawsuit by DPS against the Texas Tribune. That lawsuit does not directly involve the district, but does have district records and video from the Robb Elementary shooting.
Well, the city of Kerrville has hauled away more than 1.1 million cubic yards of flood debris since the Hill Country was hit hard on the 4th of July. So on Monday, the city's Economic Improvement Corporation gathered to talk about keeping the cleanup rolling. Every day, crews are moving between 30,000 and 40,000 yards of debris. So that is a lot of trucks with over 300 rolling through the flooded areas nonstop.
But it's not just about clearing the mess. Arborists and contractors are racing to save thousands of trees along the Guadalupe River, fighting to keep the city from looking like a stripped battlefield. As one official put it, they are determined to avoid turning Kerrville into scraped earth.
Well, a reminder for people still looking for financial assistance from the Hill Country flooding, that deadline to apply is September 28th. And that means those who live in qualifying counties can submit damages and make claims to FEMA. So we have a link on our website to apply. That's on KSAT.com. Well, here is today's 9 at 9. The Utah County Attorney is set to file charges today against 22-year-old Tyler Robinson, who is accused of killing conservative activist Charlie Kirk. Now, authorities say that Robinson planned the attack, tracking Kirk's schedule and studying the campus. Robinson is expected to appear in court virtually later today as that investigation continues.
FBI Director Kash Patel is set to testify on Capitol Hill today. He's facing criticism for his handling of the Epstein files release and the investigation into Charlie Kirk's murder. Sources say some in the Justice Department voiced concerns after he discussed evidence on Fox News.
Well, President Donald Trump sending the National Guard and other federal law enforcement to Memphis, Tennessee, establishing a task force there to crack down on crime similar to the actions recently taken in the nation's capital. FBI figures show that Memphis ranks first in the country in the rate of violent crime. Local officials report the murder rate is at a 6-year low.
Trump administration officials say an agreement has been reached with China to keep TikTok operational in the United States. President Trump will meet with Chinese leader Xi Jinping on Friday to finalize that.
The Federal Reserve's Open Market Committee will kick off its latest 2-day meeting. At the close tomorrow, it is expected to cut interest rates by a quarter point. So the new Federal Reserve governor will be there alongside Lisa Cook after an appeals court ruled that she can stay while she fights her firing by the administration.
One of the biggest meat companies in the country says it will stop using corn syrup. Tyson Foods says it will phase out several ingredients, including high fructose corn syrup, by the end of the year.
The latest Apple Watch series now has FDA clearance for hypertension alerts. The feature looks for patterns associated with high blood pressure and tells users if there may be danger. So it is expected to be available in 150 countries when the Apple Watch 11 starts shipping this Friday.
And a first look at Meta's newest glasses. You see them there. A promotional video seems to have been leaked showing the Meta Ray-Ban display glasses. They appear to feature a display to show information like maps and chats with friends. A proper unveiling is expected at this week's Meta Connect conference.
And the Webb telescope captures spectacular fireworks happening on the outskirts of the Milky Way galaxy. Scientists at NASA described the eruption of gases as a, quote, volcanically growing monster star. So some have compared the light show to a double-bladed lightsaber from Star Wars. Yeah, I can see that.
Okay. Well, speaking of light, you can join KSAT and KSAT community for a night of hope and remembrance at Blood Cancer United's Light the Night event in San Antonio. It's happening on Saturday, October the 11th at the Rocket La Cantera. It starts at 6 p.m.
Well, this family-friendly event honors those affected by blood cancers, celebrates survivors, and shines a light on the importance of research.
You can enjoy music, food trucks, and a remembrance ceremony before the walk at 7:30. Participants carry lanterns, the white ones for survivors, red for supporters, and gold for those that we've lost, creating a powerful display of unity and hope. Admission is free, and everyone is welcome to register and join the fight to end blood cancers. You can scan the QR code to donate as well. Well,
Project Mend is stepping up to help people who need medical mobility equipment And you can be a part of this. So join KSAT community. This is on September 18th on Thursday for the televised phone bank Give the Gift of Mobility. So your donations will go straight to Project Men to buy some much needed medical mobility items like wheelchairs and walkers.
And if you have gently used medical equipment to share, the second mobility collection drive of 2025 is happening on September 20th. Just drop off your items at the Wonderland of the Americas or the Shriners Auditorium. Everything you give will be carefully refurbished and sanitized to meet state and health safety standards before it goes to someone who needs it. It is a simple way to make a big difference in our community.
And looking ahead, you can still get your tickets for the second annual Texas Eats Food Festival. It's happening this Saturday already on September 20th. So that's this weekend at the Boeing Tech Port Center. So anyone who goes will be able to try food from 20 top restaurants from across the state, prepared by Michelin and James Beard award-winning chefs.
You can see a full list of restaurants and chefs that will be participating on our website at KSAT.com. A portion of the proceeds will benefit the Community Foundation of the Texas Hill Country.
And don't forget, it is your chance to nominate your favorite educator. School's already underway, so this is for KSAT's Educator of the Month Award. You can enter your favorite school teacher or staff person. Just scan that QR code on your screen, or you can head over to our website, KSAT.com. Just search for Educator of the Month. And this is a wonderful opportunity to shine a spotlight on the people who do so much for our students and for our community.
Okay, I want to remind you we are monitoring a situation right now in the Converse area where the sheriff is expected to give a press conference. We're told it could happen at any time.
Yes, our Katrina Weber is over there, and she will be giving us an update throughout this newscast. For now, it's 9:09 and 76 degrees for now. You are watching GMSA at 9.
Hi, from viral videos to sold-out shows, San Antonio's Chona E is taking stand-up comedy by storm. Still ahead, she shares with our Erica Hernandez how she's using laughter to celebrate culture.
And the world of video game development is crossing over with San Antonio Startup Week for the first time. And after the break, how some developers hope this could help their work become the next big thing. Welcome back to GMSA at 9. It is 9:13, and what was believed to be a car crash in northeast Bexar County has become much more. A homicide investigation. So Bexar County Sheriff's investigators say that the driver involved in that crash was shot and killed.
So our Katrina Weber is live with this happen on Steep Valley, not far from Walsham and Old Seguin roads. And so Katrina, do the authorities have any suspects in custody right now?
Well, they don't have any suspects per se, but they say they do have about 4 or 5 people detained who they plan to question. And they say at least one of those people knows a lot more than she has been telling deputies. So all of them are going to be taken downtown and questioned thoroughly. But let me show you what's going on behind me. This is the street, Steep Valley, where this all happened. It's about halfway down the block. They say about 3:30 this morning, they got a call about a car crash. They came out here, found a car that had hit a parked car on the street, and then realized that the person inside that car had been shot in his chest at least twice. He was dead here on the scene. They say he's a man, possibly a teenager, someone in his teens or early 20s. Now, they say that the people who they detained were either affiliated with the house just a few doors down. They believe that's where the man was shot because they found a gun out in the front yard. Now, they're waiting for a search warrant so that they can go in and investigate more inside that house, try to find evidence related to the shooting. But they do believe, again, that person was shot at one home and then drove a few doors down where he crashed. Again, they have some people from that house as well as a few others who they took into custody here in this neighborhood, and they plan to question them more about what happened. But they say this could have started with the dispute, possibly that started online, maybe on social media. All of that's still under investigation. But again, a young man or a teenager shot dead inside a car that then crashed, and they do have 4 or 5 other people in custody who they plan to question about the situation. Reporting live in Northeast Bexar County, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
All right, Katrina, thank you for that live report.
Okay, we're going to get outside. I know we've been monitoring. You were talking about an accident on I-10 and what was it, Callahan a little while ago?
Kelly, yeah, it was down to 1 lane, so it had caused some major backups. It is just now reopened. They have got all lanes back open and open for business. And this is an area that gets congested anyway because you're getting on 410 right there. But notice the backup. Now, it's going to take a while for this to all clear out. The backup was all the way to Huebner Road. So if you're coming inbound on I-10, Hopefully that bottleneck will clear up here within the next 10 to 15 minutes, but the things are just now getting back on pace. So I guess a bit of good news there that has cleared. All right, let's talk about the month of September. We started off not so bad. We got some rain. Remember the first weekend of the month, we picked up about 1.28 inches of rainfall. It was looking good. September's usually a good month for us. But then after that, the rain has just shut off. We've gone a week now, a week and a half almost, with nothing other than a couple of very small showers yesterday. And the outlook for the rest of the week is not great. Now, as we get into next week, the hope is that maybe we can add some rain to the rain bucket. But you look at the accumulation for the year, we're at 25.08. The average is 22.85. So we are just 2 inches above average at this point. And so, if we keep going as we are, we will drop back below average, which is not what we need. You look at Del Rio, this is a place that's really struggling, 4.77 inches. The average is 14, so they are 10 inches below average. And it just goes to show you that, you're only 2 hours to the west here, and it does make a huge difference in how much rainfall you receive. But it's been rough for some spots here in South Texas, and for others, we've gotten too much rain. So it's a delicate balance. 20% chance of rain this weekend, I think, here in San Antonio, 30% chance as we get into Monday. So that's that increasing chance next week. Let's look at why. You look at the big picture here, and we have a lot of moving parts. So some upper level lows. We got a ridge-of pressure that just kind of meanders around, but it stays close enough to keep our weather pretty quiet through Friday, I think. But as we get into the weekend, we get some disturbances that are going to roll around it. And I think that gives us a chance for some isolated showers and storms on Saturday, maybe more so Sunday. And then by Monday, we get a bigger trough that develops across the country. And that could bring unsettled weather to a large swath of the country from San Antonio up to the Great Lakes. Now, again, not a guarantee that we're going to get rain. I don't think we're talking about widespread rain here, but we're looking at anything we can get at this point because, again, it has been a pretty dry stretch here. And by the way, this is a look down I-10 back at that backup. You can see things are moving now, but a lot of people exited to the service road to try to avoid this, and now they're in gridlock there. So it'll take some time, as I said, for that to clear out. 76 degrees at the airport, 78 Converse, 70 Bernie, 78 at Stinson. Light winds, but those temperatures are on their way up. Dew points weren't so bad this morning. I mean, you can still feel the humidity, but it's just a little bit lower. And these dew points play a big role on how cool temperatures can get in the mornings and evenings. And with dew points in the upper 60s, we managed to get to the low 70s. And there you just saw an update. So dew points aren't too bad. I don't think we'll have a heat index today, and we should have another nice evening. It's just these afternoons that are so hot. 92 is where we end up this afternoon. 93 in Gonzales, 92 Hondo, 93 in Uvalde. So very consistent temperatures here. And yesterday we did see a couple of very light sprinkly showers across our eastern counties. I think that is a possibility again today. Shows around 5 o'clock, a little bit of that activity anywhere from east of San Antonio over to Howardsville down to Floresville. That's a possibility, but the rain chance is going to be 10%. It's low. You see this week is pretty quiet. We do get those rain chances back in the picture over the weekend and into Monday, which, by the way, is the official start to fall. The fall equinox is at 1:19 p.m. on Monday, and I'm hoping that we welcome fall with some cooler weather, some rain chances, so that your pumpkin spice lattes will actually be fitting of the environment that you're in.
Yes, that would be nice.
Yes.
Well, at least it will a little bit. I mean, 91, a little high, but at least the rain chances are there and the morning will be cooler. So we'll take that.
That's something.
Go find some firewood now.
Yeah. Put that sweater on indoors with the AC. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yep.
Yes, thank you.
All right, 9:20 right now, 76 degrees outside.
Well, the world of video game development is crossing over with San Antonio Startup Week for the first time. So after the break, how developers hope this could help their work become the next big thing. Well, welcome back. It's 9:23, and the world of video games and gaming development is a massive industry. So the market is worth hundreds of billions of dollars, and it's growing.
Yeah, now the startup community in San Antonio is looking to foster growth and innovation for game developers here locally. And our Devin Karp is in studio with us this morning to talk about what's on the horizon and how these developers can pitch their ideas as well. And you brought your controller with you.
I did. A little bit of a shocker. I do like video games. And when I'll say names like Sonic the Hedgehog, Super Mario, and Fortnite, you probably think about those big, huge worldwide games that are on consoles like this, but they weren't always that way. Now the San Antonio business community is looking to help the next wave of developers come out of their shell and grow in the Alamo City. So some independent, or as they're called, indie video game developers, just had the chance to show off some of their work to business owners, entrepreneurs, and investors over at Geekdom, part of San Antonio Startup Week's new partnership with the Greater Gaming Society of San Antonio. They're a group of developers and gamers who want to bridge the gap between the isolated community in town, giving them one place where they can come together to work, learn from each other, and build the skills it takes to get their games off the ground. I was able to speak with the head of the Greater Gaming Society, a former competitive esports player, who says that so many developers live in a bubble, but she tells me bringing them together during an event like the Gaming Summit can change the way people see San Antonio as one of the future spots of video game innovation, plus giving them the chance to pitch their games to a crowd.
So people can pitch their games to a crowd of an audience, some judges, kind of Shark Tank style. Yeah. And then people can not only have that experience of like, okay, this is my indie game, I'm presenting it to people, and also this is why I should have funding for it. It gives like a level of confidence in the business side that I think a lot of indies haven't had before.
So it's part of the new Gaming Summit. That's going to take place over on October 12th, the day before San Antonio Startup Week kicks off from 9 to 5 over at Geekdom. That's going to be divided between that pitching contest you just heard about, conversations about education and development, along with some networking for anyone working in the video game space. It's kind of cool to see the similarities if you think about it, working on a video game by yourself and working on a business by yourself. You might feel isolated, but some of the developers tell me that getting together and really working with each other can help ease it a lot. I mean, obviously, Ernie and Steph, I know you guys are huge into video games, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm still working on Pac-Man here.
Yeah, you'll get there eventually, yeah.
Back in the day, I was pretty good at Pac-Man. I'm not gonna lie. So,
I believe
you, Devin.
I believe you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Donkey Kong, Q*bert, Frogger.
Yeah. Well, maybe someone will come like with a throwback, like a more modern version of that.
Yeah, I kind of played one similar to that. Well, it'll come up later on for my story at noon. It's pretty cool.
I like it. Very good, sir.
Look
Thank you.
forward to it.
Okay, 9:26 right now, 76 degrees outside. Still more ahead here on GMSA at 9.
Well, this month, a change coming for Southwest airline passengers who use mobility devices. Why the airline is making the change due to fire risks.
All right, 9:30 now. Welcome back. In the latest KSAT investigates, a healthcare worker was attacked on the job.
And more than a year later, San Antonio nurse James Roy says what happened in Northeast Baptist Hospital's ICU is still a bit fuzzy.
I walk up and say, hey, we need to get back to bed. And the next thing I know, I'm being put in a wheelchair and taken down to the ED.
You don't know what happened between then?
No. No, I had blacked out.
What happened to the patient who did this to you?
That I don't know. By the time I had returned to work, he was gone.
Do you blame the patient for what happened?
A little bit, yeah.
He does want to press the charges, and they've just been silent. They haven't returned my calls.
So Roy says the doctors diagnosed him with a traumatic brain injury, and he's had to deal with seizures. A police report shows Roy wanted the patient accused of assaulting him to be held accountable. And as KSAT investigator Danielle Ibarra learned, it took more than a year for the Bexar County's DA office just to file charges.
Yes, and our Danielle Ibarra joins us in the studio now. And Danielle, what have you learned about the suspect?
So we've learned his name, which is something the Roys didn't know until we told them earlier this month. His name is John Demetrius Hudson, and last month, a grand jury indicted him on one count of assault of hospital personnel on hospital property. And by the way, that's a felony. Court records show that charge, it's enhanced because he actually has other felonies. And through police reports, we learned that Hudson is accused of putting Roy in a headlock and hit his head against a glass door that day. And we have reached out to Hudson's attorneys, but we haven't heard back yet.
So we talk about the timeline. This happened, more than a year ago. So why did it ultimately take so long for this suspect to get indicted?
That's something the Roys had a lot of questions about. So we reached out to San Antonio police. They say that they turned this case over to the DA's office shortly after that July 2024 assault. And the DA's office says they didn't get this complete case until this January, so there's a bit of a gap there. We asked SAPD about that discrepancy, but we haven't gotten an answer from them. The Roys say they hadn't gotten updates on the case until we started asking questions this month.
And we were just talking about how this suspect, this is not his first brush with the law by any means either.
Right, which is why this felony charge is actually enhanced. According to the indictment, there were 2 other charges. One of them I remember is evading detention.
Yeah.
So he was trying to flee before, but yeah, he has priors.
Okay, very good. Well, I know Daniela will continue to stay on top of this and have much more, of course, tonight on the Night Beat at 10 o'clock. Be sure to see her report. Daniela, thank you for your time with us this morning.
Yeah, thank you, Daniela, for joining us, and we look forward to hearing more tonight.
And a reminder, by the way, excuse me, I was just going to say, for more KSAT Investigate stories, or if you have something you would like Daniela or the team to look into, you can always click the QR code on your screen right there, and they do amazing work, obviously, and they'll be happy to help you as much as they can. All right, back to some morning headlines here. Texas Education Commissioner Mike Morath is calling out educators for posting what he calls reprehensible and vile comments about the assassination of conservative activist Charlie Kirk.
So Morath says the TEA will be investigating educators who make their posts. However, as Garrett Berger reports, the largest teachers union in Texas is now calling the investigation a political witch hunt.
Online posts and opinions pile up in the wake of Charlie Kirk's assassination. The Texas Education Commissioner told superintendents the TEA would investigate some educators' posts for possible sanctions.
Anybody should be held responsible if they cross a line, but what is that line? Where is that line? How have we clarified that line?
Zeph Capo, president of the Texas American Federation of Teachers, says that despite his letter, Education Commissioner Mike Morath hasn't provided clarity on how he's defining examples. Morath wrote in his letter that freedom of speech does not give, quote, carte blanche authority to celebrate or sow violence against people with different beliefs.
The ones that I've seen so far, myself, have not, in my opinion, risen to that level. I'm not saying that they're not out there, because we certainly do not condone violence against anyone, period.
Capo says one of his union members from Goose Creek ISD, whom conservative state representative Briscoe Cain highlighted online, faces being fired. According to screenshots on Cain's page, the teacher had questioned whether Kirk had, quote, baited one too many people, and then asked, quote, could this have been the consequences of his actions catching up with him? In another post, she appeared to say, quote, karma is an expletive. Capo later said that karma comment may have crossed a line if it happened after the shooting, but he couldn't tell because there was no date. Jourdanton ISD has said a teacher's recent social media post about Kirk's death, quote, does not reflect the values, mission, or expectations of Jourdanton ISD, but did not say who the teacher was or what the post entailed. Capo questioned why the TEA is taking this stance on one assassination, but not, for example, comments over the shootings of Minnesota lawmakers. He thinks this is more about politicians trying to ride a political wave.
That is why we think that these things are a witch hunt and coming down from the top rather than allowing them to come up from our local communities and do the job that they have always done, at least for the last several decades that I'm aware of.
The TEA told us via email that it has received 180 complaints so far, and included a statement from Morath saying in part, quote, well, all educators are held to a high standard of professionalism. There is a difference between comments made in poor taste and those that call for and incite further violence, the latter of which is clearly unacceptable. Morath said he'll recommend such teachers have their certification suspended, which means they wouldn't be able to teach in Texas public schools. Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
Well, Governor Greg Abbott is expected to sign legislation that expands career and technical educational opportunities for students across Texas. The governor will be joined by state and local leaders in his 2025 State of the State address. Governor Abbott made expanding career training an emergency item for the 89th regular legislative session.
Meanwhile, a new poll shows parents are growing more skeptical about vaccinating their kids. About 1 in 6 have delayed or skipped some vaccines, including 9% who opted out of the vaccine that protects against measles, mumps, and rubella. Doctors warn this leaves kids vulnerable and can lead to outbreaks. The CDC's vaccine panel includes new members who've been skeptical, meets this week to discuss future recommendations.
look out there with live cam this morning. We're still at 76 degrees, and yeah, the afternoons are, even though it's not triple digits, still kind of hot there, Justin.
It is. We've still been above average, so we have to enjoy these mornings and late evenings, which have been fantastic as our days are starting to get shorter. Pollen count is in, and unfortunate news here that mold's jumped up and fall elm is still up there. So you got 2 in the moderate category. I mean, these are pretty typical of September, but I know they're causing some issues. Ragweed is also low, but it sits at 70, so that is actually up a little bit too. Let's look across the country. There's not a whole lot going on, but other than the East Coast there, where you see lows spinning out around the nation's capital, that is producing some flooding today. Otherwise, it's quiet for now. I think this pattern is going to start to pick up, though, in the next 5 to 6 days. You're going to see more activity across the country. And that includes potentially here. 85 noontime, 89 2 o'clock today, 91 at 3 o'clock, and 92 will be our high with partly cloudy skies. We've also got to update you on what's going on in the Atlantic. The latest there with some developing systems coming up in just a bit.
Thank you, Justin. And now to your consumer headlines. Starting on September 25th, very soon here, Southwest passengers will have to remove the batteries from mobility devices due to fire hazards. So air travelers will have to carry them into the cabin before their wheelchair is checked. The airline said it will not count against a passenger's carry-on bags. Now, the policy will also restrict the size of the lithium-powered batteries that are eligible for transportation on Southwest flights.
All right, if you have this brand of mac and cheese, you need to throw it out. Goodles, the Here Comes truffle flavor, is being recalled due to an undisclosed milk and cashews that are in the ingredients. These were sold at places like Target, Walmart, and Whole Foods, including here in San Antonio. So if you have this, you can return it to the store where you bought it to get your money back.
IHOP is the latest restaurant chain to cook up a value menu. So 4 options will be available, including one that has pancakes, eggs, and sausage or bacon for $6. So the value menu will be available 7 days a week. This is from 7 in the morning to 10 in the morning.
Okay, delicious. 9:39 right now. It is 76 degrees outside. You're watching GMSA at 9.
Well, the deadline to apply to become the next Miss Fiesta is approaching quickly. So after the break, we're going to hear from the current Miss Fiesta about what people should know before applying. Welcome back to GMSA at 9. It is 9:43, and if you can believe it, the countdown to Fiesta is already here. So we can see it's 211 days, 15 hours, 16 minutes, and what?
37 seconds.
36 seconds and counting, yeah.
Or how many chickens on a stick I'll be eating at least
in one day, one
Yes,
event.
right,
No.
yes. Right.
Well, with Fiesta comes Fiesta royalty.
Yes, the deadline to apply is going to sneak up on you here pretty quick. To be the next Miss Fiesta is fast approaching. It's just a matter of days now. This morning we were joined by the current Miss Fiesta, Kylie Rodriguez. So here's a look at what people should know about this opportunity.
In order to apply for Miss Fiesta, you have to be a female between the ages of 18 and 22, live in San Antonio, Texas, be currently enrolled full-time at a college in Bexar County or San Antonio with a minimum of 2.5 GPA.
And then people can apply now if they meet these requirements. Is now the time to start looking into this?
Absolutely. So our application's been open and it officially closes September 26th at 5 p.m.
And then how can people, potential applicants find that application?
You can go online on Facebook, on our Instagram. There are QR codes to our JOT form, as well as a simple online Google search.
So we're looking back at some of these things. I know you spent a lot of time in schools, obviously, and it was the 75th anniversary, right, of Miss Fiesta in 2025?
Yes,
That
absolutely.
was even extra.
It was our diamond year, yes.
Good for you. As you look back at some of this, what are your fondest memories of your run? I mean, it's not over yet by any means, but what are your biggest memories?
Definitely being able to ride on the floats across the city that I was born and raised in, seeing the smiles on the children's faces whenever you pass by in the Crown or in their classrooms, and of course serving our community in every way possible and supporting all of our nonprofit organizations.
Indeed. So the deadline's coming up here pretty soon on the 25th, so just a few days from now. Of course, the winner's not crowned, you said, until January, correct?
Mm-hmm, yes.
So, but the deadline is coming up in just a few days, so you have to submit by 5 p.m., like she said, on the 25th. There is scholarship money up for grabs as well, among so many other great perks and experiences that are unique to Miss Fiesta. So find out the information. I guess people can go to the Fiesta website, or what's the best way to get a hold of that?
Or Facebook.
Yes, any of our social medias or online.
Very good. Well, thank you. was fun talking with Miss Fiesta, Kylie Rodriguez, and you said she is a graduate of Brandeis High School.
Brandeis High School. She's currently a senior at UTSA studying neurosciences and will be going to medical school soon. Yes. If that's not already impressive enough. So she did all of this
while in school. Yes, hats off to her.
Unreal.
Very, very unreal. But congratulations. Oh, and here, take a look at this. So patients at Christus Children's Hospital are waking up a little happier this morning after an exciting visit yesterday. So players from the Party Animals and the Texas Tailgaters brought their positive energy and their dance moves to the staff, the patients, and even the hospital's facility dog.
Yeah, the Banana Ball boys played games, made slime. They learned dances and read stories to kids. And for the patients who couldn't see the players, some of them are immunocompromised and just can't be out there in public, the teams recorded video messages, which was really cool. So Bronson, the guy in the
right
pink
there,
jersey,
the pink, yeah,
he was here with us last week. He taught me that, hey, baby, dance.
Yes,
we did.
You are well on your way to performing with the team.
Oh yeah, I'm just this close. I'm like not quite ripe enough to be a banana yet, but I'm getting there. They're so great, and they're having a moment right now. That's for sure. The Banana Ball phenomenon.
Yes, glad they could stop by Christus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think their games are like televised now.
Oh, ESPN.
Yeah, it's fun to watch.
Major.
Yeah.
It's a
sold
whole
out.
thing.
Can't get a ticket.
But the energy they bring, especially to the hospital setting like that's just incredible. So good on them. I love that story. So thanks for all that they do. We got to get out to the tropics. There is some activity out there, guys, and it's picking up. You know, we had a stretch here where we had next to nothing, when we did have nothing out in the Atlantic, and now that is changing. So this area here, now I just checked the update, still at 90%, but I have a sneaking suspicion that by the next update, this will be either a tropical depression or they'll just put it as Tropical Storm Gabrielle. Now this wave, less organized as it comes off the coast of Africa, but it is also showing some signs. So there's a 20% chance of development here. And this is the time of year where we watch all these waves that come out of Africa because they all have the potential to get organized and develop over these warmer waters here in the Atlantic. But it does appear things are about to pick up. Now, as far as where this system goes, the thinking is still the same as it was yesterday. These are the spaghetti plots here, and it takes it northwest. And then eventually, I think this turns back out towards the open Atlantic. So in theory, this would not have any real major impacts on the lower 48 or the Caribbean islands or anything like that. So that's, I suppose, good news. We'll see what the one behind it does. But yes, this is a sign that things are starting to pick up again in the Atlantic. And this is always a time frame where we have to watch it. Because these systems can sometimes sneak into the Gulf or the Caribbean, and that can have some impacts on us. All right, let's take a look at the satellite picture here. And we have some low clouds down around Corpus Christi, south of Beeville, some high clouds starting to move in from the north and west. And we're seeing a little bit of development there in the hill country with some cloud cover. But the bottom line is today will be mostly sunny. A few of these clouds, like yesterday, could bubble up into a shower. A brief shower here closer to the coast. I don't anticipate much on the radar. And like yesterday, I don't think San Antonio will really be impacted at all. Outside right now, 76 at the airport and at New Braunfels, 78 Converse, 73 Boerne, 78 at Stinson. So these numbers are all on the rise. We had some 60s earlier. Still feels okay, but it's not going to feel that way for much longer. 79 by next hour, 85 at noontime, 89 by 2 o'clock, and 92 will be our high temperature. We may see a bit more cloud cover in the afternoon, but nothing, again, of great significance. And I mentioned this off the top of the 9 a.m. if you were watching, that it's not just us. You know, we're at 92 today, but Dallas is at 94, Oklahoma City 90, St. Louis 94, even Detroit in the low 80s. This is all above average, mind you. So September has not been a very cool month for the United States. And it's not looking that it's going to really end with any sort of big cool down either. I mean, there are some fronts that may make their way in, but nothing that I don't think is going to really cool us down here in South Texas. As we look at the upper level pattern here, as we've been saying, a subtle change by the weekend. We get more of northwesterly flow around this high, and that can bring in a few disturbances. And then I think by early next week, you start to see just in general a more unsettled pattern across the country. And my hope is that some of that will spill down into Texas. And that's why we do have some slightly better rain chances as we get into Monday. So 93 Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We bring in a 20% chance of rain Saturday, Sunday, 30% chance of rain Monday as fall officially gets underway. But I'm hoping for some sort of change because I'm getting tired of talking about the same thing every day.
Hey, you're doing great,
if
though.
I'm being completely honest with you. We need a little bit of variability here.
Yeah, you mix things up. You're doing great, Justin. Doing great.
Thank you.
But we do look forward to the cooler temperatures as well.
Very good. I have just been informed today is an important day on the calendar.
Right. I didn't know it was National Guacamole Day.
Oh, my goodness. Jen, you shouldn't be working today. It should be a company holiday.
It is a big deal. You know, and I even packed my avocado with my lunch, and I didn't even make that connection this morning.
Cool.
So, yeah, we all love our avocados and our guacamole. And so we had to ask the question today, what do you like to top off with guac? You guys?
Nachos or tacos come to mind right away.
Oh, that's quick. That was quick.
Yeah.
Tortilla
I
chips.
might do that later today.
Yeah, tortilla chips.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, even for breakfast on toast.
Toast?
as well.
That's good too.
Yeah.
If you pair an avocado or guacamole with a good salsa, I mean, you're in business.
You love salsa. Yeah.
Just chips.
Yeah, chips. Okay. I like when people say, don't let them treat you like salsa. You're guacamole. Okay. You are guacamole.
Right. Thank you.
Okay.
Amen.
Well, yes, scan the QR code, weigh in. I love a good toast as well. Somebody on my Instagram, I was live earlier asking, and they said brisket. So can't go wrong with that too, right? So many things. All right, speaking of guacamole, we can talk forever about this, but Fiona is out at a spot that is all about the guac.
Jen, I went to your lunch and I stole your avocado. Sorry. Okay, yes, it is National Guacamole Day, and we are here at Astronomy Hot Mex and Cool Bar. Executive Chef Richard Sanchez joins me. National Guacamole Day.
National Guacamole Day.
That's
Come
right.
join us. We have the best in the Riverwalk.
That's right. And we are going to be showing you how they make their table guac, which, like he said, is the best on the Riverwalk. And we will be the judge of that. But I got to tell you, it's good. Jen?
My mouth is watering. Okay, get ready for Razor's Revenge and really questionable meat pie. Sweeney Todd is slashing its way onto the Wonder Theater stage, and we've got a sneak peek at the production. And Hunger Action Month continues. Our Jada Pickett is out getting ready for that at one local dealership. Hey, Jada.
That's right, Jen. I couldn't think of a better reason to come down to Northside Ford than for Hunger Action Month. They have an incredible campaign going on where you can fill a Ford. So come on down here. They are making themselves the official donation station. Oh, look at Ted. He's such a gentleman closing that door for me. I'm going to be talking to the general manager all about how you can participate in such an incredible and amazing reason to come down here to Ford. And of course, you can tour their beautiful cars like this Lightning Electric Ford 150. I'm going to toss it back to you for now.
Have fun, Jada. Okay, from bowls of guac to bowls of fall candy, because we are channeling fall vibes today with Adina Anderson. What are you making there?
I am making a little fall mocktail, but you could also turn it into a cocktail, add a little whiskey, but this is just sparkling apple cider with some caramel. You can't go wrong with caramel, right?
Oh, that's so simple and so cute.
And so simple. Put a little apple. I put some brown sugar around the side. Simple, easy, fall.
And budget friendly. She's got a lot more coming up here on SA Live.
Demi Lovato has announced her 9th studio album will be released next month. It's Not That Deep will feature 11 new tracks, which Lovato says are meant for late nights and dance floors. 2 songs, Here All Night and Fast, have already been released as singles. Lovato has sold nearly 10 million albums over the course of her career. Music lovers just can't get enough of K-pop Demon Hunters' Golden. One of the songs from the record-breaking Netflix film has now topped the Billboard Hot 100 chart for the 5th straight week, marking the longest run in the #1 slot for an animated act. Previous animated chart toppers include the Archies and the Chipmunks.
Songwriting's a funny thing. It's about searching for something.
For the first time, we're hearing what Jeremy Allen White's singing voice sounds like in the upcoming Bruce Springsteen biopic, thanks to a new trailer for Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere. Director Scott Cooper says the movie follows the boss through the most vulnerable chapter of his life. It also stars Jeremy Strong and Mark Maron. Deliver Me From Nowhere hits theaters October 24th. happy birthday to Nick Jonas. The Jonas Brothers frontman is 33 today. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. Melissa Adon, ABC News, Los Angeles.
All right. Forecast.
How do you follow one of the Joe Bros?
You
You
have to
can't.
tell him happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Mr. Jonas. 92 degrees today, 93 Wednesday, 93 Thursday, 93 Friday. Some small rain chances this weekend and next week.
Yeah, 90s aren't bad. Just think of all the music from the 90s.
Well, that was a great decade, although Gotta Be Golden is now stuck in my head again.
Yeah.
You have daughters.
Yes.
You've heard this
K-pop
song
Demon Hunters.
many times.
Yes.
Very good. Okay, well, among all of that, we mentioned it's National Avocado Day.
Yeah, guacamole.
Guacamole Day.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
same thing.
No,
yeah.
I just to make sure I get it correct. They definitely have it right on SA Live. Enjoy this, and we'll see you guys tomorrow morning.
Celebrating San Antonio with the city's #1 lifestyle and variety show. This is SA Live.
Yeah, it wasn't classy. I had gone to a conference and I was